All right, peace and blessings, everybody. This is Quillem Brown once again with the podcast, bringing forth reality. The platform for motivation, elevation, inspiration, and building and advancement, of course. I want us to check out some things real quick. Kind of follow up on what we had briefly was discussing and going over the last segment. We were speaking about the life and its aspects and its endurance and the little fights and battles and wars we have within ourselves, because it's really within ourselves mostly than it is in our surrounding. This is what brings forth the bigger things, right? When you see these things happening. And we're talking about the struggle and the toil. Remember, we was talking about the little resistance that we have and we dealt with from beginning, before birth through the life, and then ain't even out. So then what I was just saying is we have the battles and the wars on the inside. Now, when you look at the nations or these rulerships where these wars are going on, where they have these the toils between two different groups or two different sects or the different powers. And then people are losing lives. The innocent people are losing lives. They have destroyed their environment, and corrupted in the environment and disrupted the environment. And where we over here, where I'm at in the United States, the government they do that same thing. They go over and they'll destroy and corrupt but we do not see. We see, we don't understand what's going on until you research the what's happening there, right? So that's a whole nother subject. I don't want to get into that, but they part of that too. And then so when you look at the other countries or nations or whatever that's doing these things that they put out in the news, they say all these people bad. Just remember. Just look at the history of this government and the things that they have done and have inflicted, not only on this land, but on other lands outside of here also. So that's a whole nother subject. We'll get on that too. But so now let's come back. We're talking about this toil, the struggle, the war. So like I said, it starts within us. And these things that we go through, like I say, from the sleep, going to sleep, waking up, coming out of that state, which is close to death. And when you're in a sleep state, it's deemed to be the closest thing to death. That's the cousin to death. So that's a struggle. And now, sometimes it might not. It's a struggle to our even if the transition is smooth. Even if you go to sleep, it's a peaceful sleep. You have a good dream, and then you wake up. You look at it like, man, I didn't struggle, but you came out of a state that where you was almost dead in. So you did have to come from that, because if you don't come from that, then you will be expired then. So all of these things are toils and I mean these are things are struggles and it's a push and it's a pull. It's just that we have to understand that. And we have to understand the in-depth part of it. So you can also, we can later on, we can get into that even more deeper when you start looking at the scientific part of it. The part was dealing with our health and with our the anatomy and these things that we deal with that could actually evolve. I mean, that could alter or could make it better or alter it to be better than what it was, or either you can correct some things in different aspects, diet, our intake and what we do as far as exercise and all these things. So, all this is part of the makeup and the chemistry of what we're talking about when we talk about the fighting, the resistance, the pull, the struggle, and we just have to compute these things and then look at it and, like I say, put it in a logical manner. One thing that I want to one of the things I want to touch on also, and like I say, I'm reflecting, dealing with issues that I'm dealing with issues that I go through, that I'm going through at the time, and then I think about how we are. A lot of times when I talk about the condition, we stuck in a place, right, and without even knowing. I mentioned my grandmother, right? So when you look at your, you probably have an elder or whatever, regardless who it might be, your mother, your grandmother, your uncle, your aunt, and I've been through situations and been there and seen these things transpire with different relatives in my life, and also people that I'm close to that I wasn't really kin to per se by blood, but we had ties. When we look at, one of the issues is actually children. It is, let's see, I think it's, I say, I want to call it white, it's adults separating themselves from children, and then grown children separating themselves from adults. Now, and now we look at how today is, and we've been dealing with probably about the last 30, 40 years, maybe 50 years, how we have changed our mentality and how we treat our youth and our elders. We have flipped the whole thing. We would be closer to the children. Just look at it how than we were yesterday than we are today. We would treat the children we would be harsh on them. It's a term for spare the rod, spoil the child. We would actually not, our people would not spare the rod. Our people would not hold that part back because they wanted better. And this is goes all in with wanting better for yourself, because it really is not really tied to yourself. It's tied to your offspring, and then what you want, how you want them to be, the upbringing, and how you want the advancement to come to them and them handed down to the next generation, so you can have a prosperous lineage. So you don't spare the rod. You discipline them in a righteous manner. Not where we beat or where you carry on in the manner of where it's vicious. But we have to be stern. Then they were stern. I remember when I was a kid, and my mother and father were stern on us. You know, right after that generation is when it started kind of slacking up. You know, so I seen the change and how things degress. It didn't progress. It degress as far as the advancement, or as far as the having a stable environment or household. So let's go back into that in the first part of when I said so the youth. So we stepped away from disciplining our youth, and this opened the doors to them being disrespectful to the parent. This opened the doors for us. We couldn't. There's no way that we could. I heard some of the things the kids say now today, and I even told my niece, you know, and my son. I'm like, man, y'all say stuff. We couldn't say that stuff. You know, if we halfway open our mouth and then they think that it's gonna be something not appropriate, then we got our head knocked off, or we got whooped. I'm talking about you finna get it coming to you. But this is what it's in the scripture. So why would we step away from that? You see, but we step away from, even though we say we tied to the scripture. I don't care what you say you are. And the spirit of war, spoil the child. I know that's in I think the biblical scripture. You step away from that. So how you expect to get any favorable result? You know. So when I say in that chapter, I named it adults separating themselves from children. That part to where you have let them run loose now. Now you now when they run loose, their mouth is loose. So then they become loose. So now and then they think everything is almost as a go. So you know we see cases where you know they done took out the parents. You know where they have killed the parents. But when you don't discipline them, when you don't start from a young age, I'm talking all the way, because when you spank the baby, right, and it might be a reason why you kind of get a baby a spanking or whatever. Oh no, stop that! You don't want them to do a certain thing, or you discipline them. I remember I used to stick my fingers in my father used to thump my fingers and it hurt. That's part of discipline, because he know that I shouldn't have them in my mouth, because then if he kept letting me do that, then when I start getting teeth, my teeth are going to turn up. So it's a reason why. Just like when you spread and then you know that they're going to go to another level, they going to turn up. Now they finna turn up on you. You see, and this is what's going on. That's one thing that we can go in depthness on, and we're going to look at that later on too. So the grown children, adults separating themselves from children. Now, grown children separating themselves from adults. So when I go back and look at the elder, and I look at the situation that's going on around me, and I look at the things that we partake in as a whole in the society, everybody, all the ethnic groups, we throw our elders to the nursing home. We don't even try to figure out a way to keep them with us, or to set up something for them to make it comfortable, or to take care of them like they took care of us when we were younger, we were youth. We don't even we don't even under how. I mean, we can get paid for having them in our household. And that's a write-off, and you also can get paid. But you're not thinking about it in that fashion, because we train. Here go to condition again, and condition to believe you don't have time for that. Hey, the best thing to do, and it's just put out there, and this is advertising everything. Hey, put them in the nursing home, which it could be the case that it could go there, but the family could set up their own nursing home. So have you ever thought about that? The family setting up their own one, so everybody in the family can go right there. If they get paid, they get paid at that one. So whoever run that one, if the family members work there, they gonna get paid. So you see how it ain't no excuse, and that goes back all the way back to the self. Well, I talk about it there when I say excuses, where we give ourselves excuses. I've done it plenty of times. We do this. There's no excuse. so you can set up your own nursing home. You got money the people that you have, that you done paid the government, that you done threw away. And I guarantee the family, we could put it together in a year and probably got a couple of $100,000 that we just done threw away when the whole family. And you can set up, you can start putting that, investing it toward a facility that you're going to make the money and get the money right back. So here it is again. This is where we've been. Without thinking, we go off what somebody else say and what they do, and then we'll follow that. This is the same way we are up under this system, this governmentship. You know, we do the same thing. That's another subject too. But I want to pick up on that the next time, so we can look at that and look and see how that is affecting us, the adults, the children, treating how that relationship is now, the grown children and the adults that are elders, and how that relationship is now, and how that's going, and how people have become separate, and how we are pulled away, and how we have turned our back on the same individual that have reared us, carried us, fed us, and brought us up from when we were helpless and couldn't do it on our own. These things we must look at if we want to elevate. Remember I said, it's all about if you want to elevate, if I want to elevate, if I want to go, or you want to go to the next level. We have to look at these things, whether if we want to or not. So remember, we put things to the side that we normally are used to, and then we put this in the front of our face, and then we look at it and analyze it, and then take it from there. So let's pick back up on that next time. See what we can get out of it, to try to extract something out of it, and try to see how we can grow from that. Appreciate everybody again for tuning in. Appreciate for everybody, for us participating with each other, even though I'm here and giving I'm just a speaker that's involved with the audience, that's correlating or in paying attention to what I'm saying and what I'm putting out there, to where we can grow, build, and elevate from. It's nothing for self. It's all about the growth. Quillen Brown, aka Rashad Abdul Haq, will be back. Hopefully we can touch on a couple of things the next time. Again, we can grow, we can build something, and then we can take this thing to the next level and try to be a benefit to ourselves and to the next individual. See you on the next one. Subscribe, like, and share. Peace and blessings.